Hello everyone. So today we are going to see a concept called inheritance in Java. So inheritance is a concept where one class acquires the properties of another class. So say for example, there is a class called vehicle. Okay. So you know that there are different types of vehicles available. So say for example, there is a car, there is a bike, there is a bus. So there are different types of vehicles. So in this example, the whatever the functionality car has, the same functionality the vehicle will have, because all vehicles will have the same functionality, nearly more or less same functionality. So inheritance is a concept where you can say you can give the properties of a vehicle in common, and you can acquire the properties of vehicle to the car class, to the bike class, and to the bus class. So see, for example, it maintains is a relationship. Say, for example, why we say this is a relationship, inheritance follows is a relationship is you can say car is a vehicle. Okay, bike is a vehicle. So bus is a vehicle. So it maintains is a relationship. So the other name for is a relationship, you can call it as parent child relationship. And this is a concept, as you know, this is a concept of OOP. Like inheritance is a concept of object oriented programming. Okay, so this is it is, you can say this is a OOPS concept. Okay, and you can, we name the super class, and we name the class from which we are acquiring the properties as super class. The class which acquires the properties, the class which acquires the properties are called subclass. Okay, and the class whose properties are acquired are called superclass. So in this, from vehicle class, the car class is acquiring the properties, and from vehicle class, the bike is acquiring properties, and bus is also acquiring the properties from vehicle class. So you can call these car, bike, and bus class as subclass. And the class whose properties are acquired are called superclass. Okay, so you can call the superclass as base class or parent class, and we can call the subclass as derived class, since the bike, bus, and car classes are derived from the vehicle class. And you can call this as child class as well. Okay, so inheritance is a concept, is a process where one class acquires the properties of another class. Okay, say for example, you have car, bike, bus, and it is commonly, you can call all these as a vehicle. So you can, all the car, bike, and bus have a common property. Okay, so you can have the common methods or attributes inside the vehicle class, and you can acquire the properties, you can access those methods and properties from the vehicle class. So let me give you another example. Like the other example can be employee. Okay, we can take a class called employee class. Okay, So in an organization, you can call everyone who are working as an employee. Okay, and you can like segregate these employees as programmer, tester. Okay, so let me divide into two categories as programmer and tester. Okay, so in an organization you have employees, and the employees can be segregated as a programmer and as a tester. Okay, so programmer is an employee. Okay, it follows is a relationship in inheritance, and tester is also an employee. Okay, it follows the is a relationship. So here whatever the programmer and tester has a common property, that will be given in the employee class. So there is so what is the need of inheritance here? So the need of inheritance is like you can reuse the code. Okay, instead of writing the same property under the programmer class as well as in the tester class, instead of writing the same property or method in the programmer class or tester class, you can write it once in the employee class, and you can access to the programmer class and tester class. So the code reusability is there in inheritance. It is the uses of inheritance. And you can say there is other need also, like you can extend. Okay, wherever you need, you can extend the property from the parent class to the child class. Okay, so this is another need for inheritance. So that's all about the introduction for inheritance. Let's see the like how we implement inheritance in coding. Okay. So when we want to implement inheritance in Java, you have to use a keyword called extends. Okay, extends is a keyword used in inheritance. So say for example, there is a class called superclass, and you have like methods and properties inside the superclass, and there is a class called subclass. Okay, now I need the inheritance concept, like from the superclass I want to acquire the properties to the subclass. Okay, so I have named it as the same thing, like you know the definition for subclass and superclass. The subclass is nothing but the class which is acquiring properties from another class is called subclass, and the class whose properties are acquired are called superclass. Okay, so I have named it as so. So class subclass is there. So class subclass extends. If I want to implement inheritance here, I have to use the extends keyword. So class subclass extends. From which class I want to acquire the properties, you have to mention the class name. So from which class? From superclass I have to acquire the properties. So write the class name, it is superclass. Okay, so this is how you implement the inheritance in Java. Next, let us see the types of inheritance here. So there are different types of inheritance here. Say for example, single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, multiple inheritance, hybrid inheritance. Okay, so these are the different types of inheritance, like single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, multiple inheritance, and hybrid inheritance. So let us see one by one how this types of inheritance is performing in Java. So Let us see what is single inheritance now. Single inheritance is nothing but like when a single class acquires the properties from a single class, then it is called single inheritance. Okay. A single class acquiring properties from single class. So this is called single inheritance. Okay. Say for example, there is a class called vehicle. Okay. For the same, I'll write the example program as well. Okay. So say for example, we have a class called vehicle, and from which a class called car acquires the properties. Okay, this is called single inheritance. So see here, from single class, a single class acquires the properties from a single class. Okay, so this is called single inheritance. In coding, see, say for example, we used to write as class. I'm naming it as vehicle, and inside which we will have properties and methods, and we have another class called class car, and this car class acquires the properties of vehicle class. So you have to use the extends keyword. So use extends, and from which class I'm acquiring the properties? I'm acquiring the properties from the vehicle class. So you have to mention the class name here. Okay, so from extends vehicle. So that's all. Inside which you can write the coding now. So say for example, let me complete the single inheritance coding. Say for example, I have a method called void start. This is a method inside vehicle class. Okay. So void startup is there. Let's simply keep like the print statement. I'm having a print statement inside start of method. So print ln of vehicle started. Okay. So there is a method under car class. There is a method. Say for example, we have void drive. So inside void drive, let's keep some print statement like system dot out dot print ln of vehicle or car is driven. Okay, there are two classes now. There is a class called car which extends the properties of vehicle class, and there are two classes now, and we need public like a main method as well. So let me continue the coding here. Public static void main of string args. Okay, and you know that it should be inside some other class. So let me name the classes class main. Okay, class main method. So I have named the class main method. Inside this class, I have the main. Inside this class, I have the main method. Okay, public static void main, and inside which I am going to create the object for the parent class and subclass. Okay, child class. So you know that for creating the object, you have to use the class name and space object equal to new keyword and space vehicle. Okay, so I have created the object for vehicle class. So there is a object V here. Okay, I have created the object. Now using this object, I can access the methods inside the vehicle class. Okay, so when I create an object for the parent class, so this is a parent class. Okay, class vehicle is a parent class, and class car extends the vehicle class. So this is a child class. So this is since I have created an object for parent class, I can access only the methods or properties inside the parent class. When I want to access the methods inside the child class, I have to create an object. Again, I have to create an object for subclass. Okay. So let me do create an object for the subclass car C equal to new car of. Okay. Suppose when I want to access the method start off, I can use this object V. Okay, I can use the object of the vehicle class like V dot start off. So this method will be accessed. And when I want to access the drive method under car class, I can use C dot drive off. So drive method will be accessed. Then what is the use of inheritance here? Now when I create the object for the child class like a car class, I can access the methods inside the super class as well. So there is no need of creating object for vehicle class. Okay, when I create an object for the child class, see car C equal to new car of. So when I create an object for the child class, I can access the methods and properties inside the parent class as well. Okay, so see here C dot start of will call the parent class method. Okay, and C dot drive of will call the child class method. Right? So this is what single inheritance is. Like when single inheritance is nothing but when a child class acquires the properties of parent class, then it is called single inheritance. When one class acquires the properties of a single class, then it is called single inheritance. Okay. So next, let us see what is multi-level inheritance. The same example, the same type of example we can take. Like now it is multi-level inheritance. Okay, multi-level inheritance is nothing but, say for example, I have a class called vehicle, and from this vehicle class, I can acquire the properties to the car class. Okay, and from this car class, I can acquire the properties to the bike. Say because we can have under vehicle we can have like number of vehicles or different types of vehicles like car, bus, bikes, anything you want. Okay, but I have taken only one example like car. Okay, so for under car, you can have different types of car like normal cars are available, which is a diesel car or petrol car you can take, or we can take the electric car as well. Okay, say for example, now I am taking only one type of car, that is electric car. Okay, so this is what multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance is a chain of inheritance. Okay, it acquires the properties from a chain of class. That is called multi-level inheritance. Say for example, see here, there is a class called vehicle from which the class car acquires the properties, and the electric car acquires the properties from the car class. So it is a chain of acquiring the properties from one class. This is called multi-level inheritance. So let's see an example for the same. Like there is a class called class vehicle, under which we can have a method like a void start of, and inside which we can have some print statement, anything you want. So system dot out dot print ln of starting. And let us have another class. From vehicle class, the properties are acquired to the car class. So class car, which extends, since this is the subclass of vehicle class, I have to mention class car extends from which class it is acquiring the properties, from the vehicle class. So write down vehicle here. Mean name of this class, super class. And inside which I can have any method, like let me take an example of void drive off. So inside which I'm just writing the print statement, system dot out dot print ln of driving. Okay, driving. So this is another class. Okay, let me take like from the car class. Let us consider electric car is acquiring properties from the car class. Okay, so I'm writing one more class, like class electric car, and from which class it is acquiring the properties. Electric car is acquiring the properties from the car class. So I have to write the keyword extends, and after it I have to mention the super class name, that is car. Okay, and inside which I can have, say for example, I can have a method called charge. Okay, so inside charge method, let me write the print statement like system dot out dot print ln of charging. Okay, so now like there are three classes. Okay, vehicle is a class from which the class car is acquiring the properties, and there is a class called car from which electric car, the class called electric car, acquires the properties. So this follows the multi-level inheritance. Okay, now let me write the main method here. So when I want to write the main method, I can, like, I have a main method in a separate class. So class main method, and inside which I have public static void main, from which wherever I have this public static void main, you know already in Java that like public static void main is the start of the execution. Okay, this is the starting of the execution. From this line it starts the execution. So public static void main of string args. So this is a method. Okay, now inside which here the class ends, and here this is the end of main method. And now I want to create a, like when I want to access, I need to create the object for the classes. Okay, so when I want to access, I said you in single inheritance itself, like when I want to access the methods inside the parent class, I can access the method of the parent class using the child class object. Okay, so when I can create an object called, like where I'm creating the object for car class. So car C equal to new extends car. Okay, so I have created an object for car class. Now I can access the method inside the car class, that is drive, as well as the method inside the parent class, that is start. Okay, now I can access, the object name is C, so C dot startup will access the parent class method, and C dot drive of will access the immediate current class, like the immediate child class, that mean current class for which I have created the object. C is the object created for the current class called car. So C dot drive of will fetch this method. Okay, and you cannot access you cannot access the child class or method by creating the object for the parent class. Like this is not possible in Java. See, I'm writing C. The object of this class is called C. So C dot charge. This is not possible. Okay, you cannot access, like when you are creating the object for the parent class and when you are trying to access the child class using the parent class object, this is not possible. Okay, so when you want to access this class, like electric car, there is a class called electric car. When you want to access the method inside this class, you need to create the object for this class. Say for example, I am creating the object for this class, electric car space EC equal to new electric car. Okay, this creates the object, like EC is an object created for this class electric car. Okay, now I can access the method inside it, which is called charge of. So EC is an object created and I am accessing the method charge of now. Okay, now you can access in this way. Okay, this is called multi-level inheritance. So multi-level inheritance is like there is a class, vehicle class, from which you are extending the class car, and from the car class you are extending the class called electric car. Okay, when you want to access the parent class method, and there is one more thing I have to say, like I have created an object called EC for this class. Using this object EC, you can access the parent class, immediate parent class method. Okay, so I can write EC, I can access EC dot drive of as well. This is possible because I am accessing the parent class method using the child class object. So this is possible in inheritance, like in multi-level inheritance. So let us move on to the next inheritance, like hierarchical inheritance. Like hierarchical inheritance is nothing but when multiple classes acquires the properties from a single class, then it is called hierarchical inheritance. So say for example, there is a class called car and there is a class called bike. Okay, there are multiple classes, okay, multiple classes acquiring the properties from a single class called vehicle. Right, so there are classes called car and bike. Okay, there are two classes, so these two classes acquires the properties from a single class. This is nothing but hierarchical inheritance. So let me write the example coding for this hierarchical inheritance. Let us say take the same example. So I have to write class bike extends. So you know that there is a class vehicle. Okay, class vehicle is there and class car is there, which extends the vehicle class. I have written extends vehicle here, and there is a class called bike which extends. Bike class also extends, which acquires the properties of vehicle class. So I have to write extends vehicle. So bike is also a class which extends the properties from the vehicle class, and under which I can have any method like void charge of is also okay. So void charge of is there. Now I have to write the main method. Say for example, I have class main method, inside which we have public static void main, and under which I can create the objects now. Okay, so whenever I have C classes are there, car and bike, and there is a parent class called vehicle, and this is called a child class. So I can create the object for the child class, and I can access the methods inside the child class as well as the parent class. Okay, when I create the object for bike class, I can access the methods inside the bike class and as well as the methods inside the parent class. Okay, so but there is one thing, like when I create the object for car class, I cannot access the methods inside the bike class using this object, using this car class object. Okay, this is not possible. So let me create an object for car class. So car C equal to new car of, and let me create a object for bike class, bike B equal to new bike of. Okay, so there are two objects created now. So I have created excuse me. So I have created an object C for car class, and I have created a object B for bike class. So now I can access C dot. Okay, using this object I can access the methods like inside the car class as well as the parent class. So I can write C dot start off, which is the parent class method, and C dot drive off, which is the child class method. Okay, and also you can write like when I have created the object for bike class. So using this object you can access the methods inside the bike class as well as I can access the methods inside the vehicle class. So let me write B dot, what is the method inside the vehicle class? Start off. What is the method inside the bike class? Charge off. So B dot start off. So this will access the parent class method. B dot charge off will access the current class method. Okay, so there is B dot start off which access the parent class method. B dot charge off will access the current class method. Okay, but I cannot access, like let me write here, B dot drive off is not possible. B dot drive off, because I have created the object for bike class and I am trying to access the other child class method. Okay, another child class method. So this is not possible. So B dot drive off is not possible. So this is what hierarchical inheritance is. Okay, so these three are the main types of inheritance, and the other two types, multiple inheritance and hybrid inheritance, cannot be achieved through Java. Okay, we introduce a new concept called the interface, through which we can achieve the concept of multiple inheritance and hybrid inheritance. Okay, I'll give you an introduction about like multiple inheritance, how multiple inheritance acts, and what is the concept of hybrid inheritance. So multiple inheritance. So multiple inheritance is nothing but when there are number of classes and a single class acquires the properties of from number of classes, then it is called multiple inheritance. So this cannot be achieved like through Java. So Java introduces a new concept called interface in order to achieve this. Interface is a concept through which we can achieve this like multiple inheritance. Okay, so when a single class acquires the properties of a number of classes, then it is called multiple inheritance. And then what is hybrid inheritance? So hybrid inheritance is nothing but when you mix any of these, inheritance, like when you have two or more than two inheritance in your like example, then it is called hybrid inheritance. Say for example, I have a class A, class B, and class C, which acquires the properties from class T. Okay, and what is this inheritance type called? This is nothing but a hierarchical inheritance. And when I have in from the same classes, when a single class acquires the properties of, when a single class E acquires the properties of from A, B, and C, this is called multiple inheritance. Okay, so this is multiple inheritance and this is hierarchical inheritance. So when we combine these two types of inheritance, like any two types of inheritance, then it is called hybrid inheritance. So that's all for today.